Hi there, I hope you're doing well. My name is Yumi. Welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad to have you here. If you've been following my videos for a while now, you'll know that I have sort of missed a couple months of not posting vlogs or videos as much. And I shared a little bit on my most recent video and a bit on the community page that we have here on my channel. I don't even know where to start, just sharing wise. I've been debating about how I wanted to go about making this video and just sharing just a very significant life update. It's been one of the hardest summers of my life. This past May, my mom passed away. And it was pretty unexpected in one way, but she was battling stage 4 breast cancer for the past almost 3 years. She was diagnosed in 2020, re-diagnosed. She had breast cancer back in 2014 when I graduated from high school and was going into college, and then it came back in 2020. And so, yeah, in one way it was expected, and then in another way it just wasn't at all. This just felt so much sooner than we had thought, and so it just feels very just the emotions are still really raw. It's really tough to navigate this kind of grief. I've been really struggling just trying to wrap my head around like what happened, and just the passing of my mom, who was my best friend and one of my biggest supporters of my art and one of my biggest inspirations. She's the one that introduced me to art, who encouraged me to pursue it, who just cultivated a life for me in valuing art and beauty in my life. And to have her not be here is immensely painful and feels like a deep ache in my heart that I just feel like will always be there. It just feels like there's this big aching hole in my heart without her here, and it's just been hard to do daily life things, and it's been hard to sort of get back into the swing of things. And thank you so much for just your patience and just your encouragement and all the messages that I've received over the past couple months of people encouraging me. So many things remind me of my mom. Even this channel reminds me of her. She was one of my biggest supporters and would always watch all my videos on her big TV and always text me screenshots of the video telling me like, oh, I like this or this, and just feeling very excited about any time that I would share a video. And she just loved what I would make. And so even this channel just reminds me so much about my mom. Literally everything in my home reminds me of my mom. It's painful in one way, but also deeply comforting in another way. And at the end of the day, I overall feel grateful that I have so many things that remind me of my ummah, and that in a way I can feel consistently connected to her in my daily life. And one of the biggest things is art, is my work, literally the thing that I do every day of my life, creating art. And that in a way feels like such a consistent way for me to continue to feel connected to her spirit. And I feel immensely grateful to have that and to be able to feel connected to her in this way. So in this video, I just kind of wanted to share clips over the past couple months of moments, things that I've seen that just have reminded me of my mom and her spirit. I have a segment in here of me and my sister and my emo, my aunt, going to the art museum, and then I take some inspiration there, kind of share my thoughts about what that was like for me. If you've seen some of my previous videos, my mom, I shared a little bit about my mom and even showed some footage of her in the past. And so I'm really grateful I have those videos to look back on and to remember her by. She was going to turn 60 this year. We just celebrated her birthday in July. It was a really hard day, but also a really sweet day to just remember her and celebrate her, and just to, remember the woman that she was and continues to be in my life. She was always just like willing to learn, always down to try a new recipe, to try a new way of creating something. She was so passionate about decorating the home, and even to the last month of her being here, she redecorated my entire childhood bedroom. Like, she pulled up new curtains, bought new bed sheets, asked me to paint the walls, so I painted these walls sage green, which was like her favorite color. I had the opportunity of doing that as well, and just creating a space of beauty, which was something that she was so passionate about. I hope you enjoyed this video. It's a very personal one for me. A lot of tears making it as well too, just remembering her and creating something that I know she would have loved. I hope you enjoyed this video, and we're just gonna get started.
별소리 한다 발나름 따 살포시 머리맡에 두고서 불내음 한줌 새벽빛 한 소금 푸른 꿈을 두드리다 밤하늘에 닿을 Dreaming of you, dreaming of you. 우주를 접어 달려 널 내 품에. Dreaming of you, dreaming of you. 영원 속에 메아리친 속삭임. 두려워 마 이젠. 우린 구름돋을 달고 달구멍 반대편
So for the materials that I'm using today, these are my Prisma color pencils. This is probably my most asked question whenever I share videos about my color pencils. These are the Prisma color pencils. These are the only color pencils I use. I absolutely love these and have loved them for the past year. These color pencils are super pigmented and just so wonderful to work with. The pencils almost have a very smooth and just have a very smooth finish to them, which I really enjoy. These pencils, a lot of them were gifted to me, either by my mom, and most recently my boyfriend bought me this 132 set of Prismacolor pencils for our anniversary. And so I haven't had the need to replenish them, as I've been overflowing with color pencils, and I'm so grateful to have been gifted these. And especially the color pencils for my mom, it feels like I'm able to really connect with her in what I make because these pencils used to belong to her, and she used to draw things, and she used to create art with these color pencils. So it feels really special and tender and very personal to use these daily. I'm currently working on a drawing and artist study of a Van Gogh painting that I saw at the National Gallery. It was called Roses. When I immediately saw this painting, I could not take my eyes off of it. The colors and the textures of this painting were just speaking so deeply to me. I was just so mesmerized by this piece. I was really looking forward to drawing this in my sketchbook and studying the textures and the colors of this piece, maybe planning for something in the future that kind of reflects this painting. I just love and adore the color palette so much. So this Roses one was really exciting to work on for me. Something about the flowers really, something about it really spoke to me about my mom and just her presence in my life, like something about the flowers blooming in this vase, kind of like overflowing out of it, reminded me of how much my mom's spirit, how she just overflowed with appreciation for beauty and art and giving so much of her heart to people and to her family. It just reminded me so much of her and the overflow that she lived out of, and this painting really reminded me of her in that way. And so I just really love this painting, and Van Gogh, his colors, his textures just speak so deeply to my heart as an artist and are so inspiring to me, especially when I use color pencil. Using color pencils with a lot of layering texture is one of my favorite ways to create art recently, and a lot of that has been inspired by Van Gogh. And to see his work in person was just so, it felt really special to see his work in person. I did 2 other Van Gogh artist studies. One was the Farmhouse in Provence. This one was another special piece that really spoke to me about my mom, because one of her biggest dreams was to go to Provence with my sister and I. I recently was looking through some of her journals where she would write down recipes, and on one of the pages she wrote down a wish board, and one of her wishes was to go to Provence with my sister and I. I really hope to go to Provence one day for my mom and in remembrance of her, and hopefully one day I can bring my own paints and art supplies and paint outside somewhere in Provence. I honestly don't know a lot about the area besides of what my mom has told me and her dreams of going there. Hopefully one day I will be able to go. So this is the completed sketchbook spread of all the pieces that I felt really inspired by. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know that it was a more sad one, tender and personal to me. Thank you for supporting my work, for encouraging me, for all your messages and comments. It means so much to me. In some way, if you're going through something similar, if you've lost a loved one or experiencing current loss, I hope that you can find some solace in this video and understanding. I hope that this video brings you some comfort today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.